Hello, everybody. I'm not James, but you are. Last time we claimed the power of Giant Step for our own. However, this caused us to run afoul of the local police force. I've done some level grinding. I'm now level 12. Plenty of stats. Gained a new ability, Field. Shielding works like this. First off, there are 4 types of shields. The Shield of Light, the Physical Power Shield, the Psi Shield, and the Psi Power Shield. The Shield of Light reduces all incoming physical damage by half for the next 3 attacks. If a smash attack is used on you, it will break instantly, but it'll still cut the smash attack in half. Using it will re-up for 3 total applications. The Power Shield also cuts damage in half, but it reflects half of that back to the recipient. So if I attacked someone with a Power Shield and would normally do 100 damage, it would be cut in half to 50, and then 25 of that would be reflected back to me. Some late game enemies will have automatic power shields when you start kicking around some pretty badass powers. So make a note of that. There are ways to get rid of them, and I will tell you about them. But that's all you need to know about shields for now. Let's talk to these cops. This guy looks pretty important. Let's talk to him. Now that's one copyright I think they are okay with. It'd be funny if he said like Sega games or something. Yes, I want to go to Twoson. Alright. I'm sure we'll have a productive and reasonable discussion like grown men or grown men and a teenager. Alright, 5 of his best men. All of these cops are the same. I think they have about 75 or thereabouts HP. They got a normal attack and they've got a crushing shot. It'd be real super if I could connect. Alright, that's one cop down. The original Japanese that was stronger than Superman. They again riding around trademarks. Other than Nintendo, of course, because it is Nintendo. Another cop. Get a life on up there. Be real super if these... I meant to do life up. Oh well, I took him out. And they drop hamburgers. So that Bring It On Fat Boy, it's not made clear in Ness's character, which was kind of redesigned a little. The clay or paper mache or whatever those models are made out of was redesigned slightly for the US version. He was made to look a little taller and lankier, but in the original Japanese, his character model is a little chubby. There we go. Life up. We're okay with this. Alright. I'll turn back to normal. another cop. I'm going to eat a hamburger. Yeah, they can smash you occasionally. If you haven't played Earthbound since the original version, it seems like in these later versions, in addition to some anti-epilepsy motion blurring, they made monsters and encounters a little bit more difficult. I've noticed they tend to smash a lot more. Particularly this next boss. Alright. The original Japanese, he mentioned Sambo, which is a popular martial art. I'm gonna go ahead and life up. He can defend, he can make himself stronger. I'm going to go ahead and use shield. There we are. The next 3 incoming attacks will be halved. Which is good because he keeps making himself stronger. On the one hand, I don't like that he keeps losing his temper. On the other, it means that he's not going to do any damage to me. I'm going to eat a hamburger. I really do not like how much he's making himself stronger. There we are. Alright. I have thwarted the police officers. Right. Up. First call from our dad. Every 2 hours of playtime, which since I'm playing on the Switch, I'm effectively using save states, so as far as it's concerned, I've been playing for 2 uninterrupted hours. Every 2 hours, your dad will call you. You're supposed to get an item that will let you receive calls. This can happen even before, as is currently being demonstrated. He's just going to ask you to pack it in for the day. I will never pack it in, so I'm going to say no. There are a couple of instances in the game in which your player character, or your, I guess, POV character, will not be Ness. Your dad can still call you during this, and he is appropriately confused. Which is just a little touch that I love. I love when video games just take into account stuff like that. Gonna take a rest, I'm going to save, and then I'm going to head into Twoson. I might go for a little longer today. Do a little bit of stuff in Twoson, because it's an interesting little town. I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Yeah, I almost got 2,000 in the bank. That's some level grinding right there. Alright. Let's head down to Twoson. What level are we at? 12. We don't have to worry about something yet. I will point out what that is when it comes time. If I had gone here before, it would have been blocked off. those are monsters that hail from Giant Step. Since I claimed Giant Step, they will also run from me. Right, so this guy, it's kind of like the gag is, mice just sort of infest your house. Well, the gag here is that this guy is kind of reverse infesting the mouse's house. Anyway, we want to get one of these guys. Exit mice. If you're in a dungeon, use it and he will guide you to the exit. They can be lifesavers. Ah, new monsters. Mushrooms. These guys do not play around. I'm not going to play around either. They can mushroomize you. Mushroomization is one of the most sinister status effects in, I would argue, any JRPG. Alright, I'll take that smash. How it works is like this. First off, there is an exterior interface component. Every 30 seconds, maybe, at regular time intervals. Ants and mushrooms, together at last. At regular time intervals, the direction, your direction pad will basically change. So right will become down, up will become left, that sort of thing. Ants, the ants can occasionally drop cookies. Absolutely not worth it. I don't feel like fighting those other guys. Anyway, here we are in Twoson. Based off of, from what I can tell on the map included in the promotional material, Tucson, Arizona. Go ahead and save. The other thing about mushroomization, it's like a confused status, but you can still put in your input, except you just might hit your allies. Like every good JRPG, in the late game, you're absolutely going to be getting some powerful attacks. And you never know when you're going to be able to, you never know when you're going to turn it back on your allies. So, the talk of the town here in Tucson is the disappearance of Paula, the girl from the Polestar preschool. You actually don't need to go in there ever at all, but I'm going to in a bit, just not quite yet. The first thing you need to do is withdraw some money. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody, we have hit our first paywall. We need 200 smackers. There are two inventors, Apple Kid and Orange Kid. Orange Kid is worthless. Apple Kid is the one you want. For whatever reason, don't ask me why, I picked up this cold remedy in that cave during my grinding. It just heals you from the cold status. It's effectively poison from other JRPGs. For whatever reason, you can give that to him as food. So I like to do it because I think it's funny. Anyway, we have to give this guy $200 to proceed. So $200 and some NyQuil later. I am a mouse, reference to I am a cat, a classic Japanese novel. But anyway, give him $200 and some NyQuil. He can get a good night's sleep. And we get the receiver phone, even though we don't really need it to receive calls, as we saw earlier. Alright. Berglund Park is the big shopping area. You can buy a for sale sign from this guy. Basically, it just lets you resell any of your items. This guy sells upgraded equipment for you. I strongly recommend buying some. And this guy sells eggs. Eggs cost $12. They will eventually hatch into chickens, which sell for $110. So if you're hurting for cash, empty your inventory of everything but the essentials. Buy a bunch of eggs. Wait for them to hatch. Sell the chickens. Actually, there's going to be an even easier way to make money in a bit. But I'll get to that when we come to it. This guy sells condiments. They're absolutely not worth it because your inventory is very limited. Basically, how they work is if you eat a food that works with the condiment, its effectiveness will double. So if I got the condiment that works with the hamburger, it'd heal 100. The downside is I have to dedicate an additional inventory slot to the condiments, and as you see, I'm already hurting for inventory space. So, let's have us a boss battle. This is actually optional, but might as well, it's good for the story. I don't know why this guy decides to attack me, but he did. Evertrade can steal things. He can knit its brow. I'm fine with him stealing a hamburger. I've got so many of the dang things. Gonna go ahead and life up. That seems like the smart call here. There we go. Peaceful Rest Valley. In Japanese, it's called Grateful Dead Valley. I hope I don't need to explain to anyone why that name is trademarked. If not, read up on your classic rock history. Chubby boy and a weird guy in a blue outfit. I can't remember if it's mentioned in the Japanese or not. Also, I gained a level. Pretty good level. I can't remember if it's mentioned in the Japanese or not. It's definitely not mentioned in the English. But in supplemental material. Oh, here's the photo guy. Little Easter egg. I forget how many photos there are. 28, I want to say. Anyway. In supplemental material, it's revealed that Everdred basically owns the cabin that guy kidnapped Paula in. Oh, I got... I'll take it. No mushrooms yet. This part is a little scary because at the moment, Twoson does not have any free healing for me. So I gotta be very careful with those mushrooms. Sometimes you have to pay to heal statuses. The beauty part about mushrooms is that you do not. They will actually pay you. Yeah, I'm gonna go see Frank. Then I'm gonna go save at the hotel, and then I think we'll call it a day. Anyway, that's Onette. We're pretty much done until way, way later in the game. So I'm going to save, and as always, I'm not James and you are. Now get out of my house.